Hello friends, in last video we have discussed in detail about the morphology and functions of different parts of typical angiospermic leaves. Okay, the leaf of angiospermic plant or flowering plant show three important parts which are leaf base or hypopodium, petiole or mesopodium and lamina or epipodium. Okay, so in this video we are going to talk about the next part of the leaf section, that is venation. Okay, so this is the concept which is related to the leaf of the angiospermic plant. Venation is nothing but the arrangement of vein and veinlets in the lamina of the leaf. Okay, so we can make definition of the venation as arrangement of veins and veinlets in the lamina of the leaves. Okay, so if we want to understand this definition, first we have to complete or we have to understand the different parts of the angiospermic leaf. Okay, so suppose this is the leaf base, then petiole, and the last part which is present in the angiospermic leaf is lamina. Okay, so this is part number 1, 2 and this is part number 3. Now inside the lamina, which is the largest and most important part of the leaf, which contain chlorophyll, so lamina is always or most of the time lamina is green. Now this lamina contain central midrib, and from midrib different veins arise. Now these veins contain secondary small branches called veinlets. So you can see such type of structures inside the lamina of the typical angiospermic plant leaf, and this structure or this arrangement of vein inside the lamina is nothing but the venation. So if we want to study the leaf, we have to know the different type of venation which is present in the leaf of angiospermic plant. Okay, and these veins play two important role in the angiospermic plant. Number one, they perform conduction of water, minerals and food. So these are the strands inside which conduction of water, mineral and food take place. Okay, so they are responsible for transferring water and mineral from xylem to the site of photosynthesis, and from the food from site of photosynthesis to the different plant parts. Okay, next function of these veins and veinlet in the leaf is provision of structural framework to lamina. This lamina of the leaf is thin and it requires some support, okay, so that it can get exposed to the sunlight and it can absorb maximum amount of light energy. And for the support, these veins and veinlet form network, and due to the network they can provide structural framework to the lamina, okay, so that photosynthesis can be take place. So these are the two important functions which is take place or which is performed by these veins and veinlet in the leaf of lamina. Now in this video we are going to talk about the different types of venation which is present in the angiospermic leaf. There are two important types of the venation is present in the angiospermic leaf. Number one is parallel venation, and number two is reticulate venation. Okay, so as name itself suggests, parallel venation is the type of venation in which these veins and veinlet run parallel to one another in the lamina. While in case of reticulate venation, they form network inside the lamina. So if we want to define reticulate venation, okay, we can write as when vein and veinlet forms network in the lamina, we can classify that type of arrangement as a reticulate venation. Okay, so what is the network? In this case, a central midrib is present, and from the midrib, veins and veinlet are distributed laterally. So in this type of venation, centrally a single prominent vein is present called midrib, and from midrib, different type of lateral veins and veinlet transfer in the lamina. Okay, and due to which a network is produced, and such network type of vein arrangement is called venation, reticulate venation. In this video, we will talk about reticulate venation first, and in my next video, I am going to discuss about parallel venation. Okay, so reticulate venation is the characteristic feature of dicot plant. So it is mainly found in the leaf of dicot plants. And in this type of venation, single midrib, a prominent vein or midrib is present. Okay, here you can see this central vein is nothing but the midrib. So single midrib is present at central part of the lamina, and veins and veinlet spread laterally. Okay, so according to or on the basis of number of midrib present in the lamina, there are two important types of the reticulate venation. As number one, pinnate, or also called as unicostate, and number two, palmate or multicostate. So these are the two important type of reticulate type of venation. Okay, pinnate reticulate venation, or also called as unicostate reticulate venation, and palmate reticulate venation or multicostate reticulate venation. What is pinnate? Okay, or unicostate? Uni means single. So in this type of venation, single midrib is present. Okay, that means lamina in the leaf contains single middle prominent vein which is called as midrib. While in case of palmate or multicostate, many, two or many midribs are present. Okay, so this is the first important difference which is present in unicostate and multicostate venation. Now, there are, if we study the unicostate venation in detail, and the well-known example of this is mango, people, etc. So these plants show pinnate or unicostate type of venation. Okay, suppose this is the petiole. Okay, and now the petiole have lamina. In this type of venation, Single midrib is present at the center, and now from this midrib many lateral veins arise. Okay, and from this vein a network of veinlet is produced in the lamina. Such complex network is observed in the lamina of this type of leaf. Okay, but total number of midrib is fixed, which is 1. So it is called as unicostate or pinnate type of venation. And example is mango and people. Now, in case of palmate or multicostate, number of midrib is more. Okay, there are 2 or more depending upon the arrangement of midrib in the lamina. Palmate or multicostate venation again divided into 2 different types as convergent and divergent. So you can call this type of venation as convergent palmate reticulate venation and divergent palmate reticulate venation. Okay, in case of convergent type of venation, many midribs converged meet at a point. Okay, so if we want to draw the leaf structure which showing convergent palmate reticulate venation, we can draw like this. Suppose this is the lamina of the leaf and petiole. Now, in this type of convergent type of venation, suppose this is first midrib. Many such midribs are initially run away from one another, but again they converge and meet at a point, at the same point. So many such midribs are present in the leaf lamina. Okay, initially they run separately, but at the end they converge and meet at a same point. So it is called as convergent type of venation. And every midrib will going to have veins and veinlets, and due to which a network is produced. That means this veins and veinlet will going to produce network similar to that of the unicostate. Only difference in unicostate and convergent type is that different type of or many midrib run and meet at the same point. Okay, so it is called as convergent type of reticulate or palmate venation. Now, example of this type of venation which is found in the plant is Ziziphus. Okay, so the leaf is example of Ziziphus plant. Here mango. The last type of the venation is divergent palmate reticulate venation. In this type of venation, midrib run in different directions. They diverge from the initial point and then they run separately. They cannot meet at the same point in the lamina. So it is called as divergent type of venation. Well-known example of this type of venation is found in the plant castor. So example is castor plant. Okay, so if we want to draw the structure of castor, this is petiole. And now petiole have different midrips running away from each other, and lamina. Lamina will be arranged like this. Okay, and now every midrip have veins and veinlet which form network in the lamina. Okay, an example as I told, castor. So this is all about the reticulate or first one of the important type of the venation. Okay, so in this video we discuss in detail about the venation, which is nothing but the arrangement of veins and veinlet in the lamina of the leaf. Okay, now veins perform two important functions in the leaf, that is conduction of water, mineral and food, and provision of the structural framework for the lamina. On the basis of arrangement of these veins and veinlet, and on the basis of number of midrip, there are two important type of venation, that is parallel and reticulate. In the parallel venation, midrip run parallelly, while in case of reticulate venation, veins and veinlet forms network in the lamina. Now, reticulate venation is the characteristic feature of the dicot plant. In this case, a midrip is present at the center of the lamina, and then veins and veinlet form network. There are two important type of reticulate venation, that is pinnate or unicostate and palmate or multicostate. In case of pinnate type of venation, single midrip is present, and example is mango and people plant, while in case of palmate, on the basis of arrangement of midrip, there are two types, convergent and divergent. In case of convergent, midrip run initially separately and then they meet at the same point. So example is ziziphus, while in case of divergent, they run continuously in different direction. Example is castor. So it is all about the reticulate venation. In my next video, we are going to discuss about last type of venation, that is parallel venation. Thank you.